Hey, we're out replanting a spring planted food plot here in September. September can be very dry this time of year. It's the middle of September in Pennsylvania, and even though I had thunderstorms in my house and it's plenty wet, it looks like a desert here. So I wanted to point out one thing about these mixtures that I put together. When you plant a mixture, one of the reasons we do that is because you never really know what the deer are looking for in your location. I have places, if you follow the channel, you'll see that the deer weren't eating the sun hemp over in eastern Pennsylvania. They were eating buckwheat. If you plant buckwheat here, they won't eat it, but they ate the heck out of my sun hemp. See that? Sun hemp's pretty cool because it'll resprout new leaves all the time. Here's a soybean. Not real impressive, but the deer have been eating it. It's providing a little bit of nitrogen. I threw that down too soon, but I don't know if you can see the nodules there, those white nodules. So that's where your bacteria are creating the nitrogen out of the air. And looks like the soil is sticking pretty good to the roots, so that's a good sign. There's a lot of ragweed in here that took off. The landowner was supposed to mow it, he didn't. Ragweed's not the end of the world, but it does make a lot of seed, and we'll have to spray it next spring to keep that tamped down. So for fall now, we're putting in Raised Crazy mix, Raised Crazy fall mix, and we have some of my custom mix that we're going to put down in this particular plot. We're going to put the custom mix. So I'll post that down below. You can see what we're putting in, and follow along. And I'll try to come back here and see what this looks like in a month. Eventually we'll get some rain here. A lot of times in October we'll get some real soakers. But September can be really hot and dry in southern PA. As you can see, it's just ragweed, different grasses, and some goldenrod. We don't have enough nitrogen and enough really good soil tilth to grow the sorghum that was in my spring mix. It's going to seed. It's only a couple feet tall and looking pretty yellow. It doesn't look good. But we'll just keep putting the seeds to it and let the soil build up a good biota underneath the surface and start a system. And once that system gets going, it takes a couple years. Once it gets going, then all we have to do is drill seeds in every spring and every fall, and we'll have perpetual food here. The deer are getting plenty to eat here, even though it doesn't look fantastic. There's plenty of food. It keeps coming, and deer are having a good time eating it. So never clear the plate. We're not going to spray this, even though we did spray this for the ragweed. We're not going to do a burn down spray. We're going to drill right through this existing food plot and get new plants coming for the fall, winter, spring, and then we'll see what it looks like in the spring. We might mow it. We might just drill right through what we have, depending on how much the deer polish off. A lot of times they just hammer it. There's my exclusion cage where, there's a soybean. That's what the soybeans would look like without any deer pressure. There's some sun hemp in there, and there's also chicory. There's, what else is in there? There's soybeans and some cowpeas and some brassicas. So they've pretty much taken off of this food plot, except for a few little sprigs. The hybrid brassicas that I put in, they can be spring planted and the deer will eat them. In the other plot, I'll go down and take some film down there too. In that plot, they really ate the brassicas hard. This one, they're eating everything. Trees, little trees are sprouting up. They're eating those. So, man, it's dry though. Looks like Nevada up here. This is one of my collards in the other field. Remember I was telling you how they will eat brassicas in the summer depending on what variety you put in. You see how they've got that all munched. They pretty much destroyed the brassicas in here. Still some cowpeas, clover, soybeans. It looks good when you look down in. It just looks like a weedy field right now. This one got sprayed. You can see it's turning yellow. And there's plenty of dirt showing. So we'll drill right through it. No problem. You don't have to mow it or anything. I'm grabbing a soil sample, although it's a little tough to dig. It's hard as a rock here. So I'll grab a sample and we'll see what our nutrients are doing. If it needs anything, we'll probably add that on next spring. I'm not going to do it this year though. Here's what's left of a buckwheat plant. Got destroyed. There's another one. Yeah, they eat the heck out of those things. And there's a lot of this butterfly weed came in. Pretty prolific. It's hard to kill. You know, you can spray that with glyphosate and won't die. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. There is a lot of it though. But that can be treated with mowing next year. And if we have a lot of rye, oats, wheat in our mix, which we do, then we will probably crowd it out next year. Unless deer are just absolutely hammering everything. It's a good chicory. They don't seem to be polishing it off. They ate. What they do on chicory is they just bite the leaf, kind of bite it in half, and the chicory just bounces right back. It's a fantastic plant to have in your food plots. We got some nice wildflowers here. It came out of nowhere. This was just a nasty grass field. I'll put an attachment to a video down below so you can take a look at what it looked like when we first got here. This thing's feeding deer for sure. Fed them all summer, and we'll be looking good here in about a month. Once we get some rain, it'll be fine. But it's amazing. These collards are just an amazing plant. Look at that. Went through 3 weeks of drought when we first planted it, no problem. And it is bone dry right now, and it's nice and green. It's really good at grabbing whatever moisture's down there. Alright, she's loaded with seed. Got a nice mix in there. There's enough different types of seed in there, something will grow. It just needs to rain. No rain in the forecast. It hasn't rained in a long time here, and it doesn't look like it's gonna. It's a slow process, but that is the way to seed your food plots if you can afford it. Good seed drill. That thing you can put clover in one box, grain in another, and warm season grass in another if you want to. There's 3 boxes. Seeds everything. The way it's set up now, it's going in at a 1/2 inch. And it's pretty perfect. I don't see any seeds on top, even though the ground is as hard as a rock. Alright, I am out of here. Carl's going to finish seeding these fields, and I'll come back a week after the next time it rains and see how it's doing. Hey guys, it's Steve Chilcote. I got about 500 pounds of seed in the back, and I'm getting ready to plant another food plot for this fall. Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, then you're part of the 1% that I want to talk to. You're trying to learn something. If you want to talk to me on the phone about your property for free, give me a call. You can also contact me through my website, and send me a text message, anything you want, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And let's see if we can help you make your property the best it can be for hunting season. All right, hope to hear from you.